What's up everyone, TJ here. In this video, I'm reviewing the Salomon Assassin snowboard in collaboration with Snowboard Magazine. All right, real quick for your reference before I get into the tech you're gonna find in this snowboard. I'm 5'10", I weigh around 155 pounds, and I tested the Assassin in size 156. Now this board has been redesigned for the 24-25 season, and it is meant to be a one board, do-it-all quiver killer, the most versatile board on the Salomon lineup. You're gonna find a directional twin design in this snowboard, so you're gonna get a centered stance, no taper, but it does have a directional outline. So outside the front contact point, you're gonna have a longer nose, you're gonna have a tail. It gives you more surface area up front to help you out in softer snow conditions, as well as their rock out camber profiles. That's a camber dominant profile with positive camber through the main body of the snowboard, giving you nice stability and energy under your feet, with a little bit of reverse camber out in the tips to help mellow things out, give you a little bit more leverage, and provide another benefit on a deeper day. You're also gonna find some carbon fiber and bamboo additives built into this snowboard, and it's gonna be symmetrical in the nose and tail. And for the carbon fiber, you're basically finding some stringers going straight out from the inserts out to the nose, as well as two more going diagonally out to the contact points. It's gonna be the same in the tail of the snowboard. And then two bamboo strips kind of going out from your inserts towards the tips there. It's gonna help give you more snap and more energy and help work with that reverse camber that you find outside your feet in this snowboard. Help get you a little bit more out of those tips. Other than that, you're gonna find their Royal Rubber Rails, which is a rubber strip built into the sidewall that runs down nearly the entire length of the snowboard from just outside the inserts through the whole body of the snowboard here. It's gonna offer a dampening benefit, mellow out vibrations, and also help you out with hits in the terrain park a little bit, as well as a sintered base with a fine stone finish. That's a high-end base material that's dense. It's known to be tougher and faster versus an extruded base. You wanna make sure to wax it regularly to maintain a consistent glide through the season. And it does have a fine stone finish as well for some slight structure in the base to make it even faster. And that's it for a quick tech breakdown here on the Assassin. Let's get into how this board feels around the resort. All right, let's jump into things talking about the flex you're gonna find in the Assassin. And I think this snowboard has a very versatile medium flex, middle of the road. It's got the stability that you need to explore the resort, but still retains a relatively easy to control feel at the same time. And I really enjoy butters and flat tricks. I think they're a lot of fun, but I also think they're a great way to test the flex in this snowboard. So I think some of the main things you're gonna feel is that traditional camber through the body. It gives a lot of stability underfoot, gives it a nice confident feel. But as soon as you start to lean outside of that into the tips, when you're trying to do butters, you're trying to sit in a nose press or a tail press, that reverse camber does give you more leverage, and it gives up that flex comfortably. It has a really good feel for that style of riding, and I think makes the board even more versatile. That comes in handy in a variety of situations. But when it comes to doing those butter tricks, if you want to just like sit in a tail press, sit in a nose press, swivel around on the snow, it's going to do that comfortably. It's got some nice energy on the exit of tricks as well, or tricks where you might be wanting to utilize that energy like nollie 3s or MFMs and things like that. I had a lot of fun on this thing, and I think it's very comfortable for that kind of stuff if you do enjoy that style of riding. And while this board does have a directional outline, it comes through with a great feel for park laps and riding with a more freestyle approach, and is very versatile in the park. It gives up presses, you know, similar to butters. You can lean into a press, make it look good without having to overcommit to it. It may not be the best choice for like straight up techie jib progression, but it's gonna feel comfortable on rails for sure, and does have the stability to step up to some decently large features as well. You know, I think if you're riding the medium line, trying to step up to the large line at your resort, it's gonna feel comfortable. It's gonna have the stability that you need. That reverse camber, if you are going huge, you know, maybe you land a little back seat, it could potentially be a little washy, but I really don't think that for like, you know, 95% of us out there, that this board's really gonna be limiting in the terrain park at all. It rides switch perfectly comfortably. The only thing you might wanna watch out for is that slightly longer nose, but it's not a huge deal. I think this board feels very comfortable in the terrain park. And the Assassin does maintain that versatile, comfortable feel around the rest of the resort as well. So at size 156, you're gonna get a 25.3 centimeter waist width, which is very average. It's not particularly wide, but they do make this board in some wide options if you do run a larger boot size and wanna try to mitigate that heel and toe drag. You're also gonna get a 7.5 meter side cut in this snowboard, which is very versatile, gonna feel comfortable at a wide variety of speeds, whether you're just creeping along, doing some slower turns, or letting this thing loose down some groomers. And you're gonna get some pretty solid edge hold out of this snowboard as well, especially if you're riding with your weight more centered and you're really utilizing that traditional camber section through the body of the snowboard. It's gonna feel confident under your feet. But a couple things I like about the reverse camber sections are not only do they make getting into turns a little bit easier, but when you're going through more chopped up variable stuff, it kind of helps mellow that out a little bit as well. And of course you got those rubber inlays that help dampen things even more. So I think when you do really open this up and bomb some hills and get it up to very high speeds and you're pushing it, you might be able to find the limits. You're gonna see a little bit of chatter in the tips of that reverse camber, but generally it feels very stable. I didn't really get into any situations where it was catching me off guard or feeling squirrely. You know, this isn't a free ride snowboard. If you start to really try to lay it over, ride aggressively with a free ride approach, you may be able to overpower this thing, but for just general resort exploring, getting in the trees, getting in the alpine, exploring on a powder day, this board's gonna have everything that you need. Overall, the Assassin is gonna be a great choice if you're looking for something designed with versatility in mind that you can take out on any day, any condition, and know that you're gonna have a capable snowboard under your feet. It's not a beginner board, but if you're like a more intermediate rider that wants something you can progress with and grow into, or a more experienced rider that just enjoys something with a manageable feel, but is still very capable out there, this is gonna be a solid one. You know, whether you're trying to crack ollies off rollers and side hits, sit in some presses and butters, hit some park laps, or even take it out on a pow day, the Assassin's got a little something to help make that experience better. So for me, the biggest highlights with the Assassin is that combination of pressability while still being a lot of fun, both around the resort and in the terrain park. So if you're looking for something like that, consider the Salomon Assassin. I'm so happy I was able to finally get a review up on the channel on this one for you guys. I'm gonna have it linked down below this video so it's easy to find, as well as a link to the latest issue of Snowboard Magazine. So please make sure to go check that out. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what you think about this snowboard down in the comments. Drop a like if you got some value, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and we'll see you in a new review next time. Later, guys.